Palm Beach's #1 hit music station, Wild 95.5. Frankie P here, hanging out with Bryce Vine.
Was good.
So, they don't know this, but you limped in here.
I did, yeah.
We're actually trying to get him a wheelchair.
I sprained my ankle 4 nights ago at the New York show. Near the end of the set, and I rolled it in between the barricade. And then I had to play another show the next night in Philly, so we set up couches and stuff. Yeah, in crutches.
Oh, you just did it sitting down, just straight chilling.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because it was a different experience. I had to tell the story in a different way, you know what I mean? And I felt like I was doing a play or something.
Do you feel like it was still you were doing stand up? Did it feel like you were that? Was that the worst incident that's ever happened to you?
No.
On stage, or have you done worse than that?
I mean, man, somehow my DJ always jokes because I always somehow land on my feet. Even this time I landed on my feet.
Technically you did.
I did.
Messed it up a little bit.
I still got it. But no, man, one time I fell. It was in Santa Ana. I didn't even see the edge of the stage, and I fell backwards right off of it and somehow didn't get hurt. And fans came and grabbed me and lifted me back up. But this was tough to get through. I finished the set still. I came back out after 5 minutes after everyone was freaking out for a second. I'm just give me the mic.
Have you seen any videos of you falling? Those couple of times?
Hell yeah. I mean, I saw at least 30 videos
different
of
angles
happening. Oh yeah.
The slow-mo.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, I remember that pain right there. Yeah. No,
check this out. I'm gonna tell you. I promise I would tell you the story if I ever got to meet you, because you've always been in and out of the station. And I'm oh, I miss Bryce Vine again. This sucks. But years ago, I remember everybody at the radio station. They're yo, there's this Drew Barrymore song. It is sick. You gotta check it out. And I'm yeah. Even this one dude who we make fun of him. We tell him he's the president of Dog Beep Records because he picks the worst songs as he's oh, it's gonna be a hit, and it's the worst song ever. So when he said that to me, I'm
not a great track.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure if it's gonna be good. And then I heard it, I'm yo, it lived up to the hype. Legit, all the hype. Drew Barrymore, awesome record. I know it's been a year since that came out, maybe a little longer. Yeah, man, the craziest year ever. Yeah, I mean, I was unsigned when I released that song onto Spotify, and in that week, I got hit up by 3 different labels. I literally went to meet one in my pajamas. I didn't know I was I'd met labels in the past, but they were always oh yeah, well we should keep the conversation going. But this was the first time the labels were yo, we think you're the next thing, we want to sign you. And I was wow. Shit, I didn't even brush my teeth. You're damn, I should have put on a better outfit instead of this onesie. This is a bad idea.
So yeah, man, I mean, literally in the span of a year and a half, my whole life has changed. So I'm just kind of riding with it, man, you know. I love writing music, so it's fun to have it be heard on such a wide scale now. And you guys supporting the records and everything. It's crazy.
Has anyone ever told you have the chillest vibe ever? You're just I don't know if it's a Cali thing or it's just a you thing.
I don't know either, man, but I mean, my dad's pretty chill.
Runs in the family?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, do you ever get mad? You ever just lose it, punch a wall or something?
Yeah. I mean, I don't punch a wall, but I get upset. Walking my ass through this hotel the last hour and a half.
I told you that's why we're gonna get you a wheelchair,
man. A damn geriatric. Yeah, I get frustrated. That's what I get.
So when you wrote Drew Barrymore, did you know in your heart you're yo, this is a banger for sure? Once it drops, my life is gonna change, or were you just I'm gonna throw it out there, see what happens?
I mean, yeah, pretty much that. I knew it was a good song. Okay. You know, but I've known other songs or thought that other songs that I've written were good. I just didn't know on what scale it was gonna be listened to. You know, you don't know until the first time you have a song like that. Because I'd been releasing music since college, but as Bryce Vine, even my first one was in 2014. So I had this little core fan base, but then you know, after Drew Barrymore, I really got a chance to see how one song can change everything. Yeah. And then La La Land, me and my buddy JP just wrote in his backyard at his house, kind of making fun of LA culture, and we're
which is spot on, by the way. That is exactly what LA is like. And girls in LA are like that too. Do you ever, I don't know if you're superstitious, but do you feel you have to replicate the exact same circumstance that you were in when you first wrote Drew Barrymore? All right, I wore this underwear and these socks, so I got to put this stuff back on.
Hell no.
Or is writing always different every time?
You can't do that to yourself. No, I don't look at any of the stats as it's happening. I'll never remember where Drew Barrymore ended or started on the charts because that can't become important, or
right.
You know, then I'll stress myself out trying to recreate a recipe that I did on accident in the first place. You know, like I write songs because I like to write songs. If it ever got to the point where I wasn't, they probably wouldn't be as good.
Okay. Gotta ask you about Carnival, which just dropped, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It like literally just dropped.
Yeah.
I haven't even had a chance to peep it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's all right. That's okay.
But I did watch.
It's not going nowhere.
There was like a trailer, I guess, that you put. I've never seen an artist do that before. Like you did like a trailer with like little clips of each thing. Yeah. You're out there being all majestic, like on the beach.
Yeah, it was very majestic. It was very Michael Bolton. Yeah, man. Yeah, we put it out like 2 weeks ago, and I've been like writing most of the songs on there for about 2 years now. Like the first one I started right around the time that I wrote Drew Barrymore. So it's crazy, man. Like putting out your first full album, it doesn't really hit you until it's out and the world can hear it. Otherwise, you're just judging little piece of it. You know, the album's never done for you. You know?
Yeah.
There's still things on there I'm like, man, if only we had gotten that a little bit better, sounding better.
Are you like a perfectionist when it comes to music? Like it's never good enough, no matter how many times.
No, it's never good enough. It's never good enough. I thought Drew Barrymore was done. I'll say that. I was like, all right, this song's done. We could push this now. La La Land, I felt that way, but I felt a little rushed to finish this record. But it still turned out good, man.
Are all the songs like your children? Do you like think of them like that? Like they're all so close to you. Like I love all these songs. And there's a follow-up question to this, so that's why I
mean, they're all like stories that I've either experienced or I was inspired by something else. Like I have a song called San Junipero on the album that I wrote fully after watching an episode of Black Mirror.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I was literally gonna ask you about that. Are you like a Black Mirror fan, or you just happen to watch that episode?
I love it, and it's way too close to home. Like
right?
All this stuff really is happening.
Like, you've seen all the seasons?
Oh yeah, I've seen every single one except for the
new one
recent with like Miley.
It's not what Black Mirror usually is.
Yeah,
like I don't want to say I was disappointed.
Nearly as daring.
Yeah. There was one, the video game one. If you watch it or when you watch it.
Oh, I watched that.
That one
where you can choose your own.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I saw that. That was.
No, the one where like it's two dudes that are like homies and they start playing online and then.
Oh, maybe I didn't see.
No, you saw a different video game one. No, that one will mess you up. Like
the one that came out on its own. It was like you get to keep picking your different situations. You know what I'm talking about?
Bandersnatch.
Yes, Bandersnatch.
Did you do all the
That
whole?
was crazy. I tried all the different ways to go
I cheated.
about it.
I did it once, and I'm like, okay. So then I found like a flow chart on like Reddit, and then I started watching all the endings because I was like, yo, I'm never gonna finish this on my own. I want to see all the endings. Did you watch all the endings of that?
I think I watched all of them. I never went to Reddit. I didn't punk out.
I'm sorry, bro. I got things to do, man.
No, I feel you. I had way too much free time that day.
Really?
Yeah, but it's one of my favorite shows. So that's like when I saw that episode, I just loved it because it was the way that the whole episode works is that you don't realize that they're in this manufactured version of heaven, and as the romance goes on, you realize how science fiction-y the story is, and I just loved the whole episode, and I love that it was like a romance story with two women.
And then it didn't end horribly like most other episodes.
Oh my god, it had a happy ending. It was like, I was like, this
I think there's like 3 happy endings in the entire like.
Are there
series.
any other ones? I feel like that's the only episode where
the dating app one. Remember the dating app one where like people spend like 3 years together.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That one.
Right. That was a good story too.
And there might be one other one that I can't remember that also has kind of a happy ending. Oh, the museum one kind of has a happy ending. Remember, because she gets like her revenge on the guy that owns the museum. Yeah, okay. Once you see the episode again, you're like, oh, that's what he's talking about. The reason I ask if they're like your kids, going back to that, if all your songs, which are your kids, were drowning, and you could only pick one, which would be your favorite song?
That is dark.
Well, we're talking about Black Mirror. I mean, at this point, could it get any darker than that?
If all of them were drowning.
And you could only save one. You only had one donut to throw out there. I'm gonna save you. Fill in the blank.
Dang.
Tough, right?
Maybe Love Me, Hate Me. It's a new song on the album, and I think it's like some of my best writing that I've ever done. And it was like when I wrote it, I was really going through some shit, and it has still helped me like with going through stuff. I'm like proud of that song. It makes me happy that I came up with that because it lets me know that I can do it more.
Nice.
You know, that song for sure, I think.
I take that answer. I did notice you have a new song with Loud Luxury. I think we've all noticed. Like I'm acting like I'm the only person that's all hipster over here. No, it's dope though. Like how did that all come together?
we had a mutual friend, and they had my agent is my best friend, so that's the mutual friend, and they had told him that they were fans of my work from Drew Barrymore, and they even knew some previous songs, and we got in the studio at their house one day, and I played them this little idea on the guitar that I had written, and it was the hook of the song, and they were like, that's our next song, like that's the one we want to do. And they worked what's the word I'm looking for? Tirelessly to finish it and get it right. And like we went to the studio and I wrote verses one day, and then we rewrote them. I mean, like I had the hook, but it was not an easy song to like get to come together, but it did. And it's cool because it's a collaboration, you know what I mean? I would never put that song out on my own,
right?
And I don't know if they would put it out on their own too, but as a collab it works great.
Yeah, both you guys, well, all three of you guys, and the styles kind of just fit perfectly.
And their vibe is like mine, man. They love to have a good time. Like, they're some of the only guys that can convince me to stay out all night when I have an 8 a.m. flight.
Well, anytime you hang out with DJs, that's just what's gonna happen.
I know,
You're gonna just get lit and then get to the airport still lit.
It's all right. I'll write about it.
What's the hardest part of writing a song? I would assume it's the hook, because that's the catchy part of the song. Is that the hardest part for you? Is that the easiest part for you?
For me, the hook is usually the easiest part. Yeah. I'll come up with banger hooks, and then it'll take me like sometimes weeks, sometimes months to come up with the right verses. Like Drew Barrymore was actually the opposite. I had all the verses and I had made the beat in pretty much like a week, and then it took me over a month and a half to figure out what the hook was. So it's always different, man, and that's what's good about it. It's like it stays exciting for that reason.
Do they just like pop in your head, like you're in the shower and you're like, oh my god, I got a hook, let me run out? Like,
man, I've sometimes like I'll be in the shower, come up with an idea, and by the time I'm done with the shower, I'll have forgotten it, and I just gotta convince myself that it wasn't that good an idea.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah,
that's gotta hurt a little bit. You're gonna be playing our iHeartRadio Music Festival in Vegas.
Yeah.
On the 21st. You're on day 2.
Oh yeah. That's
now
right.
On day 1, September 20th, is the same day that everyone's gonna be storming Area 51. Are you gonna do it or not?
Nah.
Not
that my time.
Is it because of the leg thing? Because we can fix that
I don't think
between
my
now and
time
then.
will allow. Also, I don't know. I don't want. It's gonna end up being like Fire Festival. There's gonna be too many people that think something's hot, and they're gonna just show up, and then there's gonna be no water.
It's gonna be a disaster.
Yeah.
Although Diplo said he would play if they put a stage. That's why I'm like, yo, what if they just make a festival out of it? It becomes the Area 51 Festival.
I mean, it'll be infamous for sure. Yeah. But I don't know. Like if I even had the time, I would like to see it.
Well, it's the day before.
Stories.
Like I'm making sure that you're still available for our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Anything you do outside of that,
unless I get abducted the day before. Hey, it's lit.
All right. So last thing, what's next? I mean, you do have the album out, which we talked about. You're touring. Obviously, you messed up your leg touring. What's next? What do you planning? What's next? Or are you just trying to like live in the moment?
I mean, there's tons of shows. Like I do a lot of college shows. Last year I was the most booked artist at colleges, which blew my mind. And then I'm like, we're doing a bunch of them now in September and October. The new single is being, I mean, it's Classic and Perfect. It's on the new album. Hey!
Party? Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who it is.
Someone knocked. Maybe it's room service.
Maybe it's your wheelchair.
Oh.
Is it the wheelchair?
Let me check.
Oh, no, yeah.
Okay.
We thought it was the wheelchair. Never mind. It's all good.
So, shoot, I lost.
I forgot what we were talking about anyway.
That's all right.
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about though? Before we record on the camera, he was like peeping my shorts, my NASA shorts. Called me a hipster because I was like, yo, I've been wearing this since forever.
Anytime anyone says that they've been on something,
I know, but I take it to heart because I actually went to space camp. Like I'm like that
Me
nerdy.
too, boy.
And my boy right here went to space camp. But did you go as a kid or a teenager?
That would be. I mean, I know that we just said that there's adult space camp, which I did not know about.
Dude, I looked at it. It's not that expensive.
Really? You want to go?
If you're trying to go,
I could honestly be.
Let's
down.
go. Space camp.
Let's do space camp. As adults, re-up. Yeah, I went when I was 13.
It'll be less awkward if I go with another adult that's just as enthusiastic as I am.
Oh, I'm so ready for it, man. Have you ever been skydiving?
Terrified. They were gonna have me do it here down in Miami as part of the air show. Like I was gonna jump in during the air show, like tandem attached to somebody. And I told them like, yo, I'm terrified. I don't really want to do it. And then like 2 days before, they're like, oh, we don't know if we're gonna be able to do it. Gonna have to cancel because of whatever it was. And I'm like, oh, damn, what a shame. Like, because I didn't want to chicken out.
You want to do it though? I'd be so. I mean, I did.
You be down to jump out of a plane?
I did it. I did it in Australia.
And you weren't scared? Were you scared like before you?
Hell yeah. You feel like you just gave up your life. Like the moment that you fall out of a plane, you're like, this was the worst idea ever. Like your whole body tells you.
Like the moment, but then once you're free falling,
maybe
it like
15
passes.
seconds in, you kind of just accept your fate. Yeah, it's kind of it's kind of amazing actually.
Do you like doing things like that adrenaline rush
Hell
type
yeah.
stuff?
Hell yeah.
What other like danger? Have you done
stuff.
like what? I don't know, shark diving like in a cage or something?
I'm not.
Not an adrenaline junkie like that.
I don't want to be eaten. No doubt. Like I don't ever want to be eaten. That's not how I want to go out. Or stung or
stung.
I think like Steve Irwin. You know what I mean? How he went out. Like I don't. That's not me. But falling out of a plane, yeah. Why not?
I love how this conversation goes from being really happy to like morbid, then happy again, then like morbid again.
That's life.
So you're right. That's life. Bryce Vine, thanks so much for stopping by, hanging out. Can't wait for whatever you got next. Album. I'm gonna check it out. I promise.
That's all right, man. You got time. Seriously, dude.
And then we'll chat about
so
it.
much music
at
out
Space Camp
all the time. Yes, we will. But there's so much music out. I don't ever blame anyone.
No, it's cool. I'm gonna check it out for sure. Thanks so much, bro.
All right.